The full-time review show is brought to you by Saltire Energy, who are delighted to announce an extended partnership with Scottish Rugby. This will see them continue their support of international match days for the Scotland men's team. Saltire Energy became an official partner back in 2021. And also by Craig International, a truly global company with 10 offices strategically placed around the world. The future of global procurement is right here. Last night at Pittodrie, in what was our final home game of the season, the Dons put on a 5-star performance to make it 8 league games unbeaten, winning the last 4. It meant this in terms of the table, so we climbed back up to 7th position, and we've put a little bit of daylight between ourselves and Hibs. Next up, it's Ross County up in Dingwall on Sunday in what is the final game of this campaign. Celtic are crowned champions, and as we know, Livingston are already down. Hi everybody, how you doing? A very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV this Thursday night. I hope you're all well. So welcome to the review show. So we're going to look back on last night's fantastic performance against Livingston at Pittodrie. What a way to send the fans off on what was our final home game of the season. So much to talk about. So I'm looking for you to get involved tonight. It's the usual script. Just leave your comments underneath the video, and as we go along tonight, I'll read your comments out. We can react to it. Feel free to interact with each other as we always do here on the channel. Don't forget, it is a safe haven. That's what we're promoting here. So if you're watching for the very first time, delighted that you're here. And if you want to comment, please be respectful, particularly if you interact with fellow fans. We do not like anything where there's bad language. We're certainly not advocating for any abuse or anything like that. We simply won't stand for it. So we want this place to be a safe haven for all fans. So what about that then? I have to admit, first half, bit flat. I thought we started really, really brightly. I thought we looked great for the first sort of 20 minutes, created a number of chances. Was starting to get a little bit concerned that we weren't taking our chances. But overall, went into the break thinking, yeah, okay, I think once we get one, the floodgates will open. The penalty. So last night when I was doing the live watch-along show, and by the way, thank you so much for watching last night. You know, it's had over 1,100 views in 24 hours, which is just quite astonishing. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The banter, the interaction with you guys, it was absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for dipping in, and I really hope you enjoyed what we were doing. So at the time, I must admit, I put my hand up. I thought, yeah, that's a penalty. You know, it's hit him on the hand. And then everybody sort of pointed out that it was a foul in the build-up to the penalty being given on Esther Sokler. And everybody was absolutely spot on. So when I looked back at it this morning, it's such a poor decision. Again, how many poor VAR decisions have gone against us this season? And, you know, when the lad jumps, he clearly fouls Esther Sokler, clearly leans on top of him and leans into him. And the momentum of Esther obviously takes him forward. Unfortunately, his hand goes up and it strikes his hand, hence why the penalty was given. But why did the VAR and the referee not see the initial foul on Esther Sokler in the first place? But anyway, it mattered not a jot in the end, because obviously we stormed back, scored 5 cracking goals. And it was. I just thought it was an absolutely magnificent performance. Once we got going in the second half. And, you know, to top it all, for young Fletcher Boyd to get his second goal in 2 games, and what a goal it was. I thought it was a magnificent goal. And it lifted the roof off Pittodrie. So, again, so many positives to take from the victory last night. One thing that really stood out for me more than anything is when we equalised. The cameras quickly panned to Peter Leven, who came out of his technical area and was basically gesticulating at the lads to get back into position to get on with the game. And I loved that. I loved the urgency about that. It's like, great, we've equalised, but come on, we've still got a job to do. And I honestly, that really caught my attention last night, and I think it speaks bundles of the guy. What a job he's doing. An absolutely incredible job. It's just, I'm just gutted the season's coming to an end, just when we've really built up a massive stream of momentum and the season comes to an end. It just makes you think and makes you wonder, what if? It's one of those for me, what if? But anyway, we do nothing but take the positives from it. Lots and lots of really decent performances from the lads last night. I thought Dante Palvara was absolutely sensational. Probably, for me, one of his best games in an Aberdeen shirt. I thought he just bossed from beginning to end. Physical, energetic, driven. I just thought he was absolutely outstanding. I really did. Junior Hoylett's goals, great to see him getting off the mark. We've all been saying it now. Let's try and get him signed up for another season. It was really interesting that Peter Leaven said that he has already spoken to the club about him, advised them that we should try and keep him, but obviously it'll be Jimmy Talline's decision. But that's good to see, and good to see Peter Leaven said it publicly as well. So, last night, I must admit, I was very surprised at the 5 changes. So Ross Doohan came in for Kelly Roos. The skipper started, as did James McGarry at left back. Esther Sokla replaced Bojan Majowski, who sat on the bench. And Duke offered us plenty more width, playing on one side and Junior playing on the other. So I must admit, I was surprised. But, there were a number of substitutions made during the game, and it got us up and running. This is what Peter said after the game. We missed a lot of chances in the first half, and we said at half-time, we need to take our chances. Livy came out and got their penalty. I was raging. We finally concede. It is nice we have got the defensive record, especially considering how many goals we've conceded this season. I told them not to panic. I always believed we would create and score. We were clinical in the end. So the record he's talking about is the minutes of goals not conceded this season, and we basically, if we kept it to 0-0 after 2 minutes of the game, we would have actually outdone Celtic. Celtic's record of not conceding. So to get that record again speaks absolute volumes of how much we've improved under Peter Leaven, and how I think the Angus MacDonald and Stefan Gartenmann partnership has, again, massively improved us. And I think the two of them, as individuals, have also improved greatly in the past few weeks. So again, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Stefan Gartenmann, because obviously Ruby got his cameo role last night. So look, we're going to need strength and depth in that position. So I have to say, 2 or 3 months ago, I'd have been, I'm not so keen on Stefan Gartenmann. Now, I would say, do you know what? I think he's worth a crack. I really do. Right, just let me clear that and clear that. I'll also get rid of that because we've seen it, and we'll get rid of that. There's a couple of other bits I want to get in for you. Yeah, okay, so where are they? There's that. Chuck it in there. Let's get that in as well. And we'll get one last thing in. Where is it? What did I do with it? What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Huh. I thought I had it. Hang on a second. Okay, I'll try and find it a little bit later. I thought I had it, but I don't. Okay. So the match stats. Let's bring those to you. So 62.3% possession. We had 17 shots in total, of which 7 were on target. We committed 7 fouls in the game, won 6 corners during the piece. There's another page to come for you, a little bit more in detail. Successful passes, 351. Passes in the final third was 65. A host of touches, 631 over the piece. 32 touches in the opposition box. And overall, we won 9 tackles. Right, so what we'll do now is let's start opening it up to you guys to see how you're all doing. Let's just pause that. There we go. Good to see so many of you on again tonight. Okay, let's get right to the top. Right, let's start with Stuart Malcolm. Hi, Stuart. Junior unplayable. Please get him signed. Dante just gets better and better. Shinnie, a real captain's performance. And Johnny, thanks for some wonderful memories. So let's touch on Johnny Hayes. So his last game at Pittodrie, I thought it was a lovely touch from Graham Shinnie to give him the captain's armband. And obviously we saw all the really emotional scenes at the end of the game and getting a guard's honour as well as he left the pitch with his family. I think he's been a fantastic servant in his 2 spells at the football club. I've been lucky enough to meet Johnny a few times and got to know him, and honestly, he's a top lad. He really is. He's very humble. He's very down to earth. He has absolutely no airs or graces about him whatsoever. He's just a hard worker, and he just wants the very best for his teammates, and you can see that. And I really hope that the position that he's currently in, where he's helping out the youth team and the young players, I hope that is what he will do for us going forward. I hope it becomes a full-time role for him, because I think his presence around the place is much needed. So it was fantastic to see, and the ovation was absolutely wonderful. Paul Donaldson is here. Hi, Paul. Hi, Ali and all the dandies. Great comeback after going 1-0 down. Shows the huge improvement under Peter leaving. Under Barry Robson, we might have drawn or scrapped a 2-1 win. Under Neil Warnock, we would have lost. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, hi all, great game. Should have been up in the first half. Bin VAR and a great reception for Johnny. Hopefully he gets a coaching job. Great service to our club. Come on, you Reds. Paul Donaldson came back to say, we started well, but after the Pulvara miss, Duke hitting the post and Hoylett mistiming a shot and falling over, it seemed like we were wasting a lot of chances and we could end up regretting them. Well, thankfully, Paul, we didn't. Benzo Watson is here. Hi, Benzo. How you doing? He's wishing everybody a good evening. Superb second half from us last night. I thought when Johnny came on and Shinnie gave him the band, that was an awesome touch. Pulvara has been excellent lately. Long may the form continue. Johnny Miller is here. Hi, Johnny. He says, fit like Ali and fellow dandies, I don't think we should underestimate the importance of finishing the season well. Peter Leven has been outstanding. Let's make sure we get Boyd on a long contract. I completely agree. 100%. The musical box is here. He says, hey, guys. Mike Robertson is also on. He says, hi, everyone. Loving these get-togethers. It really breaks up my lunch break. Paul Hannon has said, good evening, dandies. Hope everyone is well. Paul lives in Falkirk and thought I travelled up to see us robbed after that baffling VAR call. But what fight, passion and control the team had to turn things round. Good effort, mate, going all the way from Falkirk. Graham Klein has said, good evening, everybody. Get Boyd on as long a deal as we possibly can. The musical box said, great game yesterday. At half-time, it looked like it just wasn't our day. Then the pen, then we score 5 in reply. Where was this the rest of the season? I know this is the mad thing. It just goes to show that, unfortunately, under Barry and under Neil, these guys were playing with iron bars firmly tied around their ankles. And Peter has set them free. And absolute kudos to him for doing that. Alan Nicholas said, only a month or so ago we wanted the season to finish, and now we are playing I Don't Want It to Stop. Exactly what I said earlier, Alan. The musical box came back to say, I'd be offering Fletcher Boyd a new contract. Paul Donaldson has said, didn't notice at the time, but I thought it was brilliant the way Leighton Clarkson was looking the other way for the free kick for Polvara's goal. The 1-2 for Fletcher Boyd's goal was fantastic too, with Junior Hoylett. It was just a magnificent goal. There was so much to enjoy about last night. I don't know how many of you saw Bojan Majowski having a kickabout with the mascots before the game. Again, which is just something that these kids will never, ever forget. You never forget these moments. And again, absolute tipping my hat to Bojan for doing that, for taking the time out during his preparation to have a kickabout with these young kids. And obviously there was a very poignant photograph doing the rounds on social media today with Johnny, who obviously took a moment to take everything in right at the end of the game when most of the fans had dispersed. Everyone was on their way out of Pittodrie, and he just took a ball and went and sat on it in the middle of the park and just took it all in. And I just thought that was a really, really poignant touch. It was lovely. It really was. The Mad Ferret says, that Livy pen last night was an absolute joke. Bob Duffer. All right, Bob says. Susan Casey. Susan, you have just become an Ali Beg ABTV member. Susan, thank you so much. You are an absolute superstar. Your support in the past few days, again, I keep banging on about it, but we wouldn't be doing what we're doing without you. And it's astonishing stuff. The likes, the views, the subscription numbers, the folk that are signing up to the membership scheme and are willing to part with their money to help me is extremely humbling and extremely flattering. And it's giving me the absolute determination to make this channel better for you. We are actually, believe it or not, we've been on air now for 2 years and about 6 weeks, something like that. This is where we are now. Is we're just coming to the end of our second full season. And I always set myself a goal of trying to become the number one Aberdeen Football Club themed fan YouTube channel. And I set myself a goal of achieving that in 5 years. And I swear to you, we are really not that far away from becoming number one. And it's absolutely blown my mind. So yeah, it's honestly, you have no idea how exciting it makes me. So Susan, thank you for your support. It will not be underestimated. Let me put it that way. Hey, John Grant is on. John's also an ABTV member. Hi, John. He says, hi all, what a team. We don't need the season to end. Polvara is going to be huge for us next season. Please sign Hoylett, Yimmy. Hey, Bob came back to say new strips were fair flying off the shelves last night. So I can tell you that the new home strip has gone down an absolute storm. And the club are absolutely thrilled with how it's been received. And you have to trust me when I tell you this, that Bob is right. This strip is flying off the shelves. He's absolutely right. Graham Clark, good evening all. I hope you're all well. I'm absolutely fine, Graham. Thank you for asking. Thanks again for last night and all that you do, mate. You honestly, you don't have to thank me. You said it was bloody marvellous. I said it last night and I'll say it again. Get Boyd and Hoylett signed up. Gordon Keith Ritchie said at least one Boyd was happy last night. Great potential. Susan came back and said, woo boo, managed to become a member again and manage it through my mobile. Good stuff. Great performance from the lads last night. Looking forward to Sunday. Stuart Cleaver said, good evening all, get rid of VAR now. It was a great end to the night. Good send off for Johnny. Neil MacDonald has said the BBC highlights a little disappointing. Didn't challenge or mention the foul on Esther for their pen. Sugarland says, Polvara, man of the match. For my season ticket mates, I sit with. The musical box said, no abuse and no bad language. That basically renders me mute. You know the rules, my man. You know the rules. Paul Donaldson has said, could see David Martindale standing in front of the dugout last night. Don't think I've ever seen a manager looking more exasperated at his players. There was a moment where he looked shell-shocked, didn't he? Particularly when Junior scored the fourth goal. He just stood there shaking his head, just not really knowing what to do. I must admit, I really felt for him last night. Barry Reid said, good evening all. Fine 3 points again. Some good performances on display again. And brilliant from Boyd. So chuffed for the wee man. Andrew McLeod asks a very interesting hypothetical question. He says, would you rather Tallene came in or Levine was given a 1-year deal? So, look, this is very simple. Yimmy will start on 3rd of June, and he will be our new manager, and Peter will play a huge part in his coaching staff. So, for me, it's a win-win. It's absolutely a win-win. The musical box said, I couldn't see how anyone could see the push on Sokla as a penalty against Sokla. Surely the VAR operator's guide dog should have told him he was wrong. Neil McDonald has also said that he felt for the Livy boss, a likeable guy, wears his heart on his sleeve. The camaraderie of the team the past few weeks has to be down to Peter Levin, beg your pardon. Gordon Downey says, as poor a decision as it was, the penalty gave us a kick up the bum that was needed last night, and what a response. Oh. Hang on. Benzo Watson said the incompetence of officials is very concerning. There's a reason why we don't have Scottish refs going to the Euros. It's getting worse and worse. VAR needs scrapped as it's not fit for purpose. Susan Casey makes a very good point about Sports Scene last night. They had no time to talk about the Dons because they rabbited on about Celtic for 40 minutes apparently. Bob is asking, is Johnny Hayes away? As in, will he become the new Celtic under-18s coach? So, Bob, I genuinely don't know. I know that he was most certainly linked with that job. Whether he's going to take it or not remains to be seen. Gavin Wilson has come back on. Hi, Gavin. I hope you're well, fella. For me, Junior was man of the match. Not just scored 2 goals, but assisted with another 2. Kenny Galloway says, Dante or Jack for the most improved player this season? Benzo Watson said, if you're not from Glasgow, you don't seem to matter. But why change the habit of a lifetime? Laura 101 makes a very good point in terms of the team news. He says, I think that Yimi Tallene probably asked Peter Levin to play a few of the fringe players last night so he could assess them before he takes over. That's an interesting point. Bob has said, what an amazing 7 days for Fletcher Boyd. And he said his goal last night was vintage Ian Jess. It was, mate. You're absolutely right. Coming from deep, smashing it in from 18 yards. David Swinton is on. Hi, David. How are you? Peter just seems to do everything right. Selection, substitutes, tactics, starting young players when things are going well. We have so much to thank him for. Bob Duffer is reminding everybody that Fletcher now has double the amount of goals this season than Stevie May. A lot of you are talking up Peter Levin. Good evening, Kenneth McPherson. I hope you're well. Musical Box came back to say Fletcher Boyd's goal yesterday, he made himself, and it showed precision and power. I think he's going to be a great asset. Bob is asking if I know about Johnny's future. I genuinely don't, mate. I really don't. Matthew Cool is here. Hi, Matthew. How are you? He says, fit like, what a second half. Phil McLean also came on to say, looking forward to see what Boyd does next season. Be good if he got a start on Sunday. Kenneth McPherson says, do what you love what you do. I couldn't agree more, mate. It's exactly why I do it. Fred McKenzie is here. Hi, Fred. I hope you're well, fella. He's wishing everyone a good evening. Hope this season goes on to next season. Stand free. Richard Mickey McMillan said, another cracking night, Ali. Keep it up. Keep it up last night. Yeah. Scott Farquhar has said, evening all, just catching tail end on the way home. Last night, oof. Elfsberg score a barrel load. We score a barrel load. Young Boyd looks special. Our new Portsoy hero. Brian P has said quite simply, bin VAR. Gavin Wilson came back to say, in my opinion, David Martindale deserves better respect than he's getting. Livy are one of the poorest financially in the top league. They rent the plastic pitch off West Lothian Council. Bob came back to ask if there's any word on the sporting director. Again, Bob, I'm sorry, mate, I'm not able to answer your questions. I genuinely have got no idea. It has, though, gone very quiet, hasn't it? Andrew McLeod has said, I was at the youth game on Monday. Amazing. Such a feel-good factor about the club. The Hampden performance kicked it all off, I feel. Brian P has said, the standard of officiating in the English Premier League has been really poor this season, so it's not just the SPFL. Bob said, again, good point. There is no doubt in my mind that Yimi has already had an influence on team selection, and he means that with no offence intended to Peter. Matthew Cooler said, Pulvara, man of the match for me. Martin Smith said, thought it wasn't going to be our night after the first half and that awful penalty decision, but Peter Leven proved there's a team in there that Robson and Warnock couldn't see. Simi has quite simply said, the new Portsoy Pele. Kenneth McPherson, VAR, virtually all rubbish. Personally, I would change that to virtually all Rangers. NC Network is here. How are we doing? What's the European scouting department like? We've got a few promising players in Cyprus who could do well in Scotland. Susan Casey came back to say, got to say, well done to the under-16s as well. League champions last night. Yeah, thank you, Susan, for reminding us of that. So the under-18s won their youth league yesterday. So that's the 16s and the 18s now their own league champions. So the work that has been doing in the academy is obviously paying off. So congratulations to everybody involved. Scott Anderson, Stuart Duff, etc., etc. Well done, lads. Benzo Watson came back to say the split needs scrapped. Also, we would be 5th in the table ahead of St Mirren on goal difference. Surely this affects finances on wherever you are placed in the league. Andrew McLeod said, Roy Keane makes an interesting point that since VAR, we are talking about decisions more than ever, unfortunately. Mad Ferret came on just to talk about the under-16s. The youth setup is looking good. Right, so now, I've got to try and find this because what did I do with it? 1 second. There was something that I've got for you that all of a sudden I can't find. So one moment, just have a quick look in the old software. Is it still? Where is it? Still there? Ah, that's why. Oh no. So it is there. Right. So where are you on the system? Right. Bear with me. Bear with me. Just talk amongst yourselves. Right. So you're there. I can see you on my desktop. Right. Let's get you in. Import media. I'm going mad. Why can't I see it? I'm absolutely baffled. I don't know why I can't see it. Anyway, never mind. Something I wanted to show you. So the AB Said Football podcast lads, in conjunction with AB24, they have some outstanding retro tops, hoodies, jackets, tracksuit tops, rain jackets, all sort of Aberdeen based on their website at the moment. They're looking to sort of move the stock on, and they have very kindly given me a special 10% discount for all Alibeg ABTV members. So what I've done today is I've posted that very same code in the members only chat, the community tab. So if you are a member, you should have a notification of that special code. So if you want to buy something from the lads, you will get a special 10% discount on anything that you want to buy. Okay. So on Sunday, I've decided, because last night's watch along show went so well, that we're going to do it again on Sunday. So it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. So what I'll do is I'll aim to come on air about 10 minutes before kickoff. We'll just run through the team news, a couple of bits and pieces. So if you didn't see the watch along show last night, it's on. So it's now available on the channel. It's on repeat. Just dip into it. So all that I basically did was just sit here. I had the game on one screen, had you guys on the other. I just kind of talked our way through the game. You guys commented as the game went along. And honestly, at one point, we had over 100 people watching, which again, absolutely blew my mind. And we just all watched the game together. And honestly, it was such fun. The only thing I've got to be careful of is you could see the game in the reflection of my European Nights poster. So I'm going to have to be really careful of that on Sunday. So the idea is just to basically just come in, because the game won't be shown live unless you're a Red TV International subscriber. So I just thought it could be something different. So people have asked, so how do we do it? So it's very simple. You basically need 2 tabs, one with the game and one with us. And obviously you don't have to watch us. You can have us, sort of in the background. Or, you can set up 2 different windows, however you want to do it, or have it on the telly. And, if you can do it that way, and yeah, have us on the laptop, however you want to do it, really. So I really enjoyed it last night. It was great fun. And, to be honest with you, we waited until 5-10 minutes after full time. We could have done another half an hour with the amount of comments that were coming in. So it was really, really good fun. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Right, guys, we are done. We've done just over half an hour. Thank you so much again for watching tonight. I will see you again on Saturday night for the preview ahead of the Ross County game. And I'm hoping to have a special guest for you. Just waiting to get that confirmed. So hopefully we'll have that for you on Saturday night. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you've had a great time tonight. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're building. We really are building. And I'll see you again on Saturday. Take good care of yourselves. Stand free.